Good morning, everybody. Wanted to touch on a couple different items here of note, just to make sure everybody is on the same page when it comes to what we need to have on site, and then also what to expect if OSHA shows up as well. So, starting out, a lot of you guys have been hearing a lot about the 300A logs. Starting today, those are required to be posted or at least made available on our job sites. So right now, if you are on some of these smaller projects, PlanGrid is going to be your best friend underneath the DHE Documents tab. Then from there, if you need a hard copy on the job site, or if we have a job trailer on that site, let me know. I will gladly bring one out to have posted in that trailer as well. And then we also have our labor law posters. So these are a requirement if we have a gathering area on the project. So any job box that we're working out of does not need to have it, but if we got a job trailer or at least some type of gathering area, we should have something available for reference as needed as well. So keep that in mind if you guys do need that on your projects. I tried to make sure that we had a bunch of them last year in all the job trailers, but we still got quite a few sitting out back here. So once they roll out, we'll usually update those. But again, if one got missed, let me know and I'll gladly bring that out. So, OSHA visits and what to expect. OSHA is starting to work their way back out on site, primarily looking at trying to verify some of the record keeping stuff. That's why that was prevalent to start. But from there, they are trying to train a bunch of new individuals like they did last year as well. So they are going to be targeting some of the smaller projects. That could range from some of the undergrounds that we're starting on right now to some of the little dink and dunk jobs that we're doing, like some of these J&H's or some of these other gas stations and so on. So keep that in mind when you're on those projects. We still are held to the same guidelines that we are on the larger projects, so make sure we're reinforcing some of those general basics. Now, OSHA also has a couple different emphasis programs that they're kicking off as well moving into this year. Number one is excavations. With the amount of cave-in deaths that happened nationally last year, federal OSHA is making it a point to drive that throughout each state program as well. And for those who don't know, there were 2 guys that died out in Alto last year that were working on an 18-foot deep trench. Any open excavation on site, they have been informed to stop and do a once-over just to verify that there are no life or death situations going on there. So anytime they see a pile of dirt, they might stop in and verify. So just be prepared. 2, fall protection. There were 10 deaths last year, or 10 or so deaths last year associated with fall protection or falls from heights. So as we start looking at getting prepared for some of the work taking place on these roofs, make sure we utilize some of the stuff or the resources that we have available, from the rails to the fall protection, and then just making sure that we have a clean access point. That means that there's no snow or ice buildup around the base or around either side of the ladder, and that we have everything properly tied off. And then last but not least, struck bys. So between some of the highway deaths, which I know we don't deal with that side of it, but then also there were a few job site issues as well with some pieces of equipment. So they are going through and they are verifying backup beepers or just any type of alarm system on any of the pieces of equipment. And then they're also verifying that everybody has the proper high vis to be seen by the operator in case they're trying to duck around or behind some of the machines while they're operating on site as well. So a couple items to take away. 1, reach out if OSHA shows up on site. I'm glad to come out and help assist with that walkthrough and make sure that, hey, we can find all the proper documentation. 2, remember that OSHA has a job to do just as much as you do. They're going out there, they're just trying to do a once-over on it just to make sure. But at the end of the day, as long as we're doing what we're supposed to be doing and following the guidelines that we have in place, we shouldn't have much to worry about. And then 3, if there are any issues with the pieces of equipment that are on site, please let the appropriate parties know. Whether it's a rental piece that needs to be updated or at least have some work done to it, or if it's one of the DHE pieces of equipment, let Lee or KJ know that the machine needs to have the proper maintenance done, and then we can follow up from there. Thanks, guys. Have a good rest of your day.